Cappies, oh my Cappies, how are y'all doing? My name is Christina. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. Okay, so we have the mask and the heart, the sword, the kiss, the box, and the siren. Cappies. I mean, this definitely feels like heavily in the romance sector of things. If it's not a relationship, then it could apply just in terms of like something that you're really passionate about doing. But I kind of get the feeling that it's more of a relationship type of read. Take it how it resonates. And if it doesn't resonate, then don't try and make it resonate. Okay, so I want to start with the box and the mask because I feel like there's an idea here that you've been prevented from really engaging in a relationship with somebody that you've wanted. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've been guarded. I mean, the mask is the idea that you, well, for one, you can't put the mask on and off, right? So if you are engaged in a relationship where you have to wear a mask, then it's kind of the idea of like once you put that mask on, you can't take it off. Like it has to like fall and crash and break all around you, because it becomes like that persona that you have. And I feel like you've been going down the rabbit hole of a persona, you know, like if it's somebody who you were really interested in and then you were like, well, I'm gonna put on a show and I'm gonna be stoic or I'm gonna be, you know, like what, so that this person doesn't get the, you know, like they think this way of me, you know, like I want them to see me in this light, so I'm gonna put on this persona. But I kind of get the feeling that like the persona that you wore to try and attract this person to you backfired. You know, because it's like, especially Cappies. I mean, Cappies are so, oh, I love Cappies. They're like my favorite. But y'all are steady. You know, like you're hardworking. You're stubborn, but you know, like join the club. And I kind of get the feeling that this person really liked you. And then when they tried to get to know you, there was like this blockage. I feel like there's just a blockage. And every time that, you know, like this blockage was approached, it just felt more and more restrictive, like more confining. Like it didn't seem to matter, you know, what you were trying to do or like how you were trying to impress them. It was like you weren't impressing them, you were pissing them off, or you were just, it was putting them off, you know, whether or not they were pissed. I don't know. It depends on my Cappy, I imagine. But either way, I feel like there's just kind of like this, you weren't comfortable enough in your own skin to really allow for like a sincere relationship to occur. And so the harder you tried to like build this relationship, the further away you felt like you were from this person. And I kind of get the feeling that the idea here is that you really have to do away with the mask. I mean, the sword is the idea of like cutting through the chaos, cutting through the confusion, so that you can really engage in something sincere, something intimate, you know, something romantic and passionate. But you can't engage in intimacy if there's a lack of sincerity, right? If there's this underlying, well, I'm going to try and get you to do this so that you'll think this or whatever, you know. And I feel like I feel like you were motivated to get this person's attention, but you were never doing it in a way that was sincere enough that they were actually going to engage with you. It could be that you're dealing with a community of people that feel that way. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. And it's not to say that you weren't sincere in your desire to like build a relationship with them, so much as it is to say that you were and gender neutral, but like you're cock blocking yourself, right? Like, because people who operate from sincerity can smell insincerity a mile away. The Queen of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. Yes, because it is. It's like this, you know, like I feel like you were steady trying to like get this person's attention, or trying to like get them to notice you, or, you know, like trying to like coordinate so that they would, you know, like they would be around you and they would see how amazing and cool you were or something, you know, but it just, I feel like this person, and you could be on either side of the fence, so take it how it resonates. But I feel like, you know, you or the other person is just kind of like, oh my God, like you, like, get it together, you know? Cappies, I love y'all. And you're fantastic as you are, you know? Like, don't be afraid to show up as you. I'm sure that this person, if you even had the opportunity to try and like, what? I just want to say show off. Like, then the person probably already liked you for who you were. And then it was like, wait a second, like, that's not what I got when I interacted with you. So never mind, you know, like that's the feel there. The 10 of Swords and the 4 of Cups, because again, I mean, it's this idea of like the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. And just because you think that somebody might want you to be some type of way, like it's probably not the case, you know, like if somebody really likes you, they like you for all of the reasons that they've already seen in you naturally, right? I was talking to a friend the other night, and God love him, you know, and I love him, but he just like, he can't get his shit together, and it's because he lacks self-confidence, right? I mean, it's just, it ultimately, he feels like he doesn't deserve, you know, like what, stability or consistency, and so he surrounds himself with people who you know, like don't provide that, and then gets upset when they don't do that. And it's just kind of like you're creating these scenarios, you know, and I feel like Cappies, that's kind of the idea of like you keep thinking that, well, like they'll like me more if I'm this way, or they'll like me better if I do this. And it's like, no, that's not the case. And you really need to cut out that mentality. And the Page of Swords and the Star, you know, again, I feel like it's this idea. I mean, the Page of Swords is very concentrated on her skill, so that she can become a master of herself and her art or talent, or you know, whatever. And I kind of feel like there's an idea here of like when you cut away with the idea that you have to be some type of person to get somebody's attention or to be worthy of somebody, and you really start just like focusing on yourself and developing your own skills and your own characteristics, because everyone is different. Everyone, it's like snowflakes, right? Like there's a gazillion snowflakes in the world, and none of them are the same, and people are the same way. And so if you are trying to create a situation where you can be like I can be this for you, then it's, again, it's this facade that isn't sincere to who you are. And it's like, I want to say that like people don't want you to be something like someone for them. They want you to show up as yourself, because that's where your strengths are. And I think that the idea here is that you're starting to understand what that means, and you're starting to move in that direction so that you can really bring healing and step into the power of who you are as an individual, because I'm sure you're fucking fantastic as is. Not to say that there's not always room for growth, because there is always room for growth, but you want sincere growth, and you want to develop into who you are, not the facade of growth as you develop into who you think everybody thinks you should be. The Hierophant and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, because I feel like there's an idea here again of this, like this person, I want to say, and I don't know if it's somebody that you work with or somebody that you know, just like have friends, like mutual friends or something like that. But I mean, the idea ultimately is that you, like, I feel like this person knows you well enough to know when you're putting on a show. And I kind of feel like saying, you know, like just show up as you are, like just show up sincerely, show up honestly, show up as the person who has the love to give that you have, you know, and don't feel like you have to be somebody else, because that's not what this person that you're dealing with wants, or this group of people. You know, take it how it resonates. Okay, one last card for my Cappies. I hate it. Let's do 2. Okay, Cappies. The Venom and the Crone. Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe you feel a little bit like under attack by this person, like, oh well, I'm doing all these things so that you'll notice me. And I feel like this person is like, you're pretending to be somebody that you're not to get my attention, and like, don't do it. You know, like, again, it's this idea of like feeling rejected, feeling like you keep getting like further and further in this box of like restrictions. And ultimately I feel like the idea here is that, like, figure it out, learn your lesson, and understand that you are enough of your own accord, and you don't need to be somebody to get somebody else's attention. Show up as you are, you know, like, come as you are. That'll be the title. All right, Cappies. Well, I love y'all so much. I hope this resonates with y'all. If it does, please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon.